Welcome back to the Romanian Reaver channel and my playthrough of Pillars of Eternity. Okay, let's see
Not a
about
problem.
that lovely little lass, who may or may not be in shit. A man paces angrily in front of a wrecked animal pen, his sun-weathered face twisted with ire. Nearly said wire. He's so wrapped up in his fury that he doesn't seem to notice you. Galloway and slobbering beast, blazing bloody effigy, tri-stamped salty wench and her soggy. A fat lot of good they've done so far. Just look at this mess, my pen ruined and all, but a few measly runs gone. He bites his lower lip and closes his eyes. His nostrils flare with each quick angry breath. Wife's always telling me to mind my temper, just breathe deep and count to 10. Before you blow a vein, of course. An ogre moved into the area not long ago. Folk had been seeing glimpses and tracks out in the wood, but it seemed to be staying away from town, or so we all thought until it made off with me pigs. Now everyone's afraid it's going to develop a taste for kif, if it hasn't already. What else would have destroyed my pen made off with me herd? And at the same time the rest of the village is seeing a 10-foot monster in the forest. Mercenary, he gives you an appraising look. I knew a few toughs like you during the Saints' War. Which is it, blade for hire or raid for fun? I know it's too late to get my pigs back, but it set my mind to ease to see that thing's head shorn from its neck. In fact, you bring its ugly pate to me, and I'll trade you for something that's of less use for a farmer like me than to a rowdy-looking sort like yourself. It's the same as any other, I'm sure. A big, ugly son of a bitch with a nasty temper and an appetite to match. Tragil could tell you more. He claims to have seen it in the wood. You can find them in his shop, right by the broken tower. Anything else? Not for now. So I took the bigger pigs. At around level 12 or 15 we'll go back into Odd Nua.
Hail and well met.
A portly smiling man stands behind a wrapped wooden counter, polishing a buckler. He looks up. Haven't seen you before. Always glad to see a new face in town. Company is good for business and chatter's good for the soul. That's what I always say. Anyhow, what can I do for you? Oh, what a quiet little town. Not much happens here, especially since the legacy hit. People realized they couldn't have babies and just stopped trying altogether, and that takes a lot of the excitement out of day to day, if you can believe it. So they're not fucking anymore. gambesons are generally good things, but it's very light. How are we doing with the camping equipment though? By the way, that doesn't look like a regular dagger. Grudge Keeper, now that sounds like a dwarven weapon if I've ever heard of one. You never know when those are of worth. And what's that guy behind? Oh great. A veneer refill of vibrant history contained the essence of this woman's soul. That's a woman? I thought it was a bearded man. A voice from its past seemed to call out to you. You see a forest clearing, fog curling through the weeds on the ground in the cold morning air. The serenity of the scene is occasionally broken by a faint noise that echoes through the silence. This woman emerges from the trees and stops, dropping to the ground. She creeps to the edge of the clearing and crouches near a tree. She glances around furtively, listening intently in the growing light. She presses her back to the tree, tensing against it, ready to spring forward. From the distance comes another sound, a rustling in the undergrowth. At that she shoots forward, keeping as low to the ground as she can. She puts a hand to her throat and makes a sound, a shrill bird call, but what emerges from her mouth seems to emanate from yards away, from behind her, near the source of the rustling. There is a brief grunting noise that is quickly silenced. She dives into a large bush at the edge of the tree line, keeping her head down and wriggling silently through the leaves and twigs. She takes a position in the bushes, turning to face the direction she came. She raises her hand again, this time mimicking a stelgar, placing the roar directly behind the men failing to sneak up on her. More than one voice answers this call, all of them sounding panicked and hurried, all of them quickly moving this way, all thoughts of stealth forgotten. She backs out from under the bush to crouch behind it. As she pulls her bow from her back, she takes a shooting stance and waits for hunters to appear. Well, considering her hunters are nowhere near, I'm gonna assume they're not anywhere to be found in this mortal coil, at least. Okay, so people are no longer fucking, even though, technically speaking, and this is me just being a man, they could probably fuck even more than they could beforehand. I mean, it's just me, but no babies. You could literally fuck your balls off and you wouldn't care.
The smell around here reminds me of this stable hand, Drutman. Not real popular with the women, Drutman.
Okay, this is Trigil. Let's see what he has to say.
This particular scene required a unique approach to its lighting as opposed to most interiors in the game, since Trigil set up his curie in a collapsed tower of an enduring castle that was once in the area. That meant light would spill in from the rooftop. This meant that it would be one of the few maps in the entire game that would have its own day-night cycle. Because of this, the color grading of the scene needed to function in both day and night. In terms of area design for this level, early on in the design we played a lot with the placement of Trigil's key to his secret quarters. At first it was on his person, but the player would only ever get it by outright killing Trigil. which some players might be opposed to. Another placement was putting in some sort of chest nearby, but it felt too obvious and formulaic. Close to this idea, but more interesting, was that he lost the key and his assistant and him are arguing over where it could be. If the player was to scout around, you could find it floating in a vat of dye. We felt we needed more ways to reinforce the value of scouting areas for hidden objects. This particular seemed to work to this effect.
Well, ain't that a fucking spoiler and a half?
How do you do?
The sturdy, broad-shouldered man wipes his hands on his slacks. He reeks of the same foul compound wafting from the vats, and his arms are stained with dye. You look to purchase some leather? Rumballs mentioned something about an ogre. He's hardly talked about anything else since those pigs of his went missing. The whole town's been worried about that monster. People are starting to see shapes in their windows at night, hearing its growl and the snoring of their mates. It would put a lot of minds at ease if someone got rid of it. He scrapes at red pigment under his fingernails. I sometimes venture into the wilderness, collecting ingredients from my dyes, mind you. I've seen tracks east of here, near the river. It couldn't have been anything else. He wipes a splotch of dye from his elbow with his shirt tail. Something else you need? What's in the collapsed tower? It's collapsed, Mantic. He rolls his eyes and shrugs. A few hides on stretching racks and the tallow stench Dangler's always grumbling about. The rest of the keeps dust, just like the fool Lady Tanu who tried to hold it. There's a bard at the inn who'll tell you the whole blazing story if you want to hear it. That one's actually useful. I don't want to get two. But there's only one. We'll take it though. Okay, you get this, because you're one of the mainline fighters. Plus you also look suitably dashing. And now having a troll augmentation, I guess that would be useful.
Laying low.
I think I see something.
Yeah, the commentary kind of spoiled it. Now, let's see what you have in your tower. Is it a certain lady? Okay. Unlike this guy, that guy got gibbed. Fine saber. Let's see what's in here. My son, tomorrow I become the effigy. Tomorrow I become Scan's embodiment on an aura. Tomorrow my master chokes on his own whip. For months we met in secret. Okay, this I'm not reading. I really should stop reading, actually. Period. Wonder what's down there. Something impressive by the looks of things.
You're mine.
You better death to our enemy. Death to our enemy.
Okay, something's off. Something's very, very off.
Let's see this stubborn bastard. Let's see this stubborn bastard.
You.
Can't get a good shot.
Oh yeah, you're gonna do that? Well, I'm gonna do this. And you pop us some health.
Hi. Just say the word. You're not getting through me.
You're mine.
Hey.
Can't get a good shot with this.
Fortacoa! Let's end this.
Hi. Let's have it out.
You're mine.
You got the priest.
Gotta say I like it, discussion voice. No, we do not have any camping equipment.
Yeah.
I've got this. I've got this. Let's see this stubborn bastard. Let's see this stubborn bastard.
There's something else down here. Why wouldn't that guy let me down here though?
Yeah.
Ready when you better run!
How may I help?
Let's see if we can get it to bounce back. No, we could not.
I shall. Leave it to me.
Settle!
You better see! You better run! Death to our enemies!
I shall deal with this one.
Let's have it out! Yeah?
Okay, so it's part of a secret cult that has a lot of money. I'm gonna guess donning that will make us less conspicuous. Though I don't know. Fuck. Yeah, that was expected.
Not a problem.
We need camping supplies. Where the fuck do we get that?
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
Yeah? Not a problem.
Why would there be a... Oh, I hope they didn't do a virgin sacrifice with that chick.
Welcome. Hail, traveler.
Well, actually some of this would do too, but no. For now, let's just sell some of the crap we got. Wait, we're not selling it. That'll do.
Yeah?
Let's see if they actually do anything to me. I don't think so, but let's see. That's the smithy. Let's go rest.
I actually watched through all of the guild before working on this inn. I wanted to make sure it had enough of the right elements to represent its backer. When I got to the episode with the Highlander painting, I knew it had to be in the inn somewhere. The table locations with the banners next to them are also a nod to the episode where the Knights of Good are sent to the back of the line outside of a game store. In this inn, they get the table in the back as represented by their banner on the wall.
We're decent folk, my lord. Perhaps you should leave and check the wilds.
My child is out there. Do they not understand?
My lord, we're doing everything we can. Unfortunately, these villagers...
Beasts take them all. I don't care how you do it, but find her. A petty, small-minded man. Just like the rest of them around here. I've been paying him an honest fee for board and bed, and yet he can't be bothered to stir himself to concern for my Alice. Yes, Lady Alice. My daughter. I've asked around, but nobody in this mud hole has any concerns beyond their swine. They turn my men away like beggars and seem downright pleased to be of no use. But you're not one of my soldiers. And you look like you're used to getting your hands dirty, if you don't mind my saying so. I'm Lord Nestor Harrand of Defiance Bay. My family has been prominent there since Imperial times. Our primary estate is on the outskirts of Brackenbury, but we have holdings in New Haomar as well. Those went to my sister and her husband. Elise, of course.
That seems odd. But actually we're gonna leave it off here because it is 36 minutes and we're getting way crazy into this. Thank you for watching, or more precisely surviving up until this point, because guys know the editing's kinda interesting and my voice has a melodic tone to it. If you like what you saw, feel free to hit the subscribe button, like button, it does help out the statistics of the channel, gets more visible, you know, stuff like that. And to be honest, at one point I would like to actually make this a job so I can do better content with better quality, more games, more coverage, you know, stuff like that. Take care.